Howdy folks, my name is Teri and I'm so excited that you're checking out this tutorial. If you're new here, I make painting tutorials like this on this channel, as well as talk about various tabletop games, miniature war games, and games generally with toy soldiers in them. And today I'm going to share with you a tutorial on doing some diamond-shaped freehand. Now, freehand is not something I've been doing for a long time. It's not something that I'm an expert at by any stretch of the imagination. I've been playing with toy soldiers for 15 years. I've been painting miniatures for that time, but I've only been really dabbling in freehand for the last 3 or so years, and this is the year where I've decided to focus on it more and more and put it on more miniatures that I've painted. And so this pattern came out of the fact that I wanted to paint some stripes on some of my grain pin models, and eventually wasn't happy with the way they were looking and kept working at it until I ended up with this diamond pattern. If you're a tabletop painter, you can paint lines, you can paint dots, you can absolutely do this. So let's get rolling on it. I'm going to show you how to do the pattern on this tile. So we're going to start with the base coat. For the tile, it's white, surprise, surprise, and I'm going to paint the space in blue. So we're going to take the blue and we're going to paint a stripe. So when you paint your stripes, the space you're leaving in between each stripe is going to be approximately the same width as the stripe itself. So that's what you want to focus on. That's just going to give you kind of more consistent diamond patterns, but again, playing with the widths will give you different design shapes and that sort of thing. So, work at it from this perspective. If you paint it on a flat surface, it'll give you a better sense of how big or small you can actually do it. I've done this pattern quite small on a tile just to see, can my brushes and my brush control actually make this happen at that size, and it gives you a little bit of practice before you put it on a miniature. So I highly recommend you try that before you start going ham on your miniature. Once you've done the diamond pattern in your color, so in this case in blue, you're going to take the base color, so white for me, and you're going to paint in lines inside the stripes. So within the blue stripes I've painted, I'm now going to paint white lines in between them. Again, going 45 degrees on the one stripe line and then 45 degrees in the opposite direction. It's not hard. Again, you might need a smaller brush, you might need something a little bit more fine than what you painted the stripes with. It's also a lot easier if you paint the stripes a little bit wider. It gives you a little more space to work with. So if you're working with this pattern and it's not quite working for you, try painting the stripes a little bit thicker than you think first, and then play around with the insides of the space, because it's in that negative space where you can get like really the intricacies of this design. Now, once you've done the lines that give you those small diamond shapes, you're going to put dots in where the diamonds are, and so that'll give you that little bit of extra detailing that makes something pop a little bit. And that's it. You can embellish this more. You can add more dots. You can add extra lines. You can do double lines on the inside, depending on how thick you paint this. You can really play with this design. Now, when we put it on a miniature, we're going to go with the same thing. Diagonal one way, perpendicular to those stripes, we're going to put the next set of stripes down. We're going to line on the inside. We're going to put dots on that. And when you get to the point where you're kind of done doing the miniature, you're going to take a really thin glaze of the base color and you're going to glaze that over the fabric, and that'll give you the shades. So playing with that shading a little bit too will also give you a better sense of how the fabric kind of goes, in creases, and if you need to make any adjustments to your pattern, it's only paint. You can repaint it, do it again, strip it, play with it. And so that's the pattern. That's really it. It's really easy, and I think you can do it. I actually think that this is something that you can absolutely do. You can absolutely integrate into some interesting miniatures, some miniatures you want to add some finery to. If you're doing a one-off, or if you want to kind of practice this freehanding technique. The big thing is, when you paint it on miniature, when you're painting it on cloth, I really can't emphasize enough that last glaze, and then you can go back and even highlight it and glaze it again, and push that fabric back a little bit more, and it really does kind of bring that whole thing together. So that's the diamond dot pattern. I hope you like it. I hope you try it out. I really do. I really hope that if this tutorial inspires you to do anything, it's just to try it out, even if it's just trying it out on a tile, trying it out on a margarine container lid. I want you to impress yourself. I want you to surprise yourself, and I want you to stretch. So if you have questions about this at all, please leave them in the comments. If you have any tips to share for freehanding, please also leave that in the comments. I really want to encourage support and community in the comments, because I've seen so many great comments in there. I read them all, I respond when I can, but I think there's a lot of support in there too. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to help me out and make videos like this, make more videos like this, you can absolutely help me out on Patreon, thanks to these people who have helped me out so far. And if you want to see more videos like this, check these videos out. Until next time, I will see you soon.